This content is AI generated for informational purposes only and should not be directly used for clinical decision-making.
Hello, and welcome back to the Neurosurgery Hub podcast. I'm Dr. Aris, Senior Attending Neurosurgeon.
And I'm Dr. Alara, Research Fellow. Today we're looking at a fascinating new study from the 2026 issue of Neurologia medico-chirurgica, titled Transition from Subdural Electrocorticography to Stereo-electroencephalography in Presurgical Evaluation of Epilepsy, Single Institutional Experience.
This is a timely paper, Alara. As many of our listeners know, Stereo-electroencephalography, or SEEG, has recently gained significant attention as a less invasive and effective technique for presurgical evaluation in patients with drug-resistant epilepsy. This study provides a retrospective review of 83 consecutive patients treated between 2018 and 2024, comparing the shift from conventional subdural electrode implantation to SEEG.
Right. The researchers split the cohort almost down the middle, 41 patients in the subdural electrode group and 42 in the SEEG group. What immediately stands out is the difference in the target regions. In the SEEG group, 28 cases, that's 66.7%, involved electrodes implanted in the insular gyrus as the deep area.
That is a significant jump from the subdural group, where only 8 cases, or 19.5%, targeted the insula. It highlights one of the primary advantages of SEEG, the ability to access deep-seated structures that are technically challenging to reach with surface grids without significant retraction or morbidity.
Exactly. And the study also looked at what happened after the monitoring. In the subdural group, resective surgery was performed in 39 cases. However, the SEEG group showed more varied management. While 20 patients underwent resection, 14 patients actually received thermocoagulation.
That's a key point for our residents to note. SEEG isn't just a diagnostic tool. It opens the door for thermocoagulation as a therapeutic bridge or alternative. Interestingly, in the SEEG cohort, 5 patients were scheduled for future surgery, and 3 were found not to be eligible for surgery because the epileptogenic zone could not be identified.
Let's dive deeper into the safety profile, as that is often the deciding factor for many surgeons. The study reported that intracranial hemorrhage occurred in 3 cases in each group. On the surface, it looks identical, but the clinical impact was quite different.
Precisely. In the subdural electrode implantation group, 2 of those 3 hemorrhages were symptomatic and required reoperation. In contrast, all 3 of the stereo-electroencephalography-related hemorrhages were asymptomatic. This reinforces the idea that while the risk of bleeding exists for both, SEEG tends to result in fewer serious complications.
And what about the bottom line for our patients? Seizure freedom.
The outcomes were very encouraging. 1 year after surgery, seizure freedom was achieved in 64.0% of SEEG patients, which is 16 out of 22 cases. In the subdural group, it was 57.9%, or 22 of 38 cases. Statistically, with a p-value of 0.606, the seizure outcomes and complication rates were similar between the 2 groups.
So even though SEEG is less invasive, we aren't losing any efficacy in identifying and treating the seizure focus. The authors also noted that SEEG was more frequently used in cases involving deep lesions or patients who had prior subdural implantation.
That speaks to its utility in technically challenging cases. When you have a patient with a previous craniotomy and significant scarring, or an epileptogenic zone tucked away in the insula, SEEG provides a pathway that subdural grids simply can't match in terms of safety and accessibility.
To summarize for our listeners, this single institutional experience suggests that the transition to SEEG maintains comparable seizure-free outcomes while providing a safer profile with fewer symptomatic complications. It is particularly useful for those deep-seated targets, like the insular gyrus.
A very solid study that mirrors what many of us are seeing in clinical practice. Thank you, Dr. Alara, for breaking that down with me.
My pleasure. Thank you for listening to the Neurosurgery Hub podcast. We'll see you in the next episode.